Now, I know I'm new to the scene of Diablo 2, but what's going on? ARPGs and loot filters go like hand and glove. Why does this game not have a loot filter? Come on, devs. This game needs a loot filter. We're going to dive into this topic. It's going to be a quick video, but in my limited time playing Diablo 2 recently, and this game has completely sucked me in. So, for selfish reasons, I want to create this video. I'm a self-proclaimed hoarder, so getting this fix would help me out personally tremendously. Although I have to say, I'm sure this has already been highlighted a million times since the release of this game. And talking about the release of this game is as old as I am. And for it to still not have a loot filter? Come on, devs. Anyway, this video, we're going to go into this topic. I hope you'll stick around and join me. We'll see you on the other side. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably played Diablo 2 yourself. I don't need to tell you the amount of loot that drops in the game. And heck, I am in no way complaining about the amount of drops in this game. I'm complaining or would love to see a fix as far as what is visible on the screen and what is not visible on the screen. I can tell you sometimes not having a loot filter in this game and you're farming in a specific area or you're killing a lot of enemies and their screen just fills up with all those text and images, you can sometimes get lost and not be able to see something important through all the loot that's filled up your screen. That's the first thing. Secondly, the fact that you have to point and click and pick up the loot. And again, I'm not complaining about that. There's many games that are pick up where you got to click it to pick it up. I understand that. I don't have an issue with that. I'm not trying to get an auto pickup system in Diablo 2. I'm fine with the point and click to pick up items. I just want to be able to control what is seen on screen and what is not and filter out what I don't want to see. But my second point is, because we have to point and click and visually inspect every single piece of drop that's on the ground, this takes us away from our main focus when we're farming or looting an area full of enemies. And that is, we're taking potentially our eye off the enemy. And therefore, for someone that's not seasoned in this game, you could die from having to visually filter your own loot on the ground. So it presents a problem, specifically if you're playing hardcore, where a death means loss of everything. Now, when it comes to loot filters, it's not uncommon for ARPGs to have them. I don't want to tell you all the ARPGs that have some sort of loot filter, some better than others, but they have a loot filter. So the players can manage what is seen and not seen on screen, therefore helping the quality of life experience in the game. Heck, even in the own Diablo franchise, we have Diablo Immortal, which has an auto pickup system. So the development team of this franchise is well aware of what can and cannot be done. I do not understand why Diablo 2 does not have a loot filter. I would also like to add that I don't understand why we don't have some sort of sorting system, searching system in our stash, in our inventory. Heck, it'd be even great to be able to trash things on the fly while you're out roaming the open world and have some sort of mechanism where you can trash stuff that you don't want, but yet get the materials from it. There's a lot of mini improvements that can be done to this game from a quality of life perspective. The first thing that I think needs to be done, and I'm sure this has been voiced a million times over, is we need a loot filter and also from a stash perspective, we need to be able to search. We need to be able to filter. I think these are quality of life things that should be standard in a game, irrespective of how long it's been launched. This game is still being supported. It's still being played by thousands and thousands of players. It's a beloved game. Some would say it's the best Diablo game ever made. And there's no reason why these improvements, quality of life improvements, should be made. Heck, even in the recent franchise game of Diablo 4, the game started without one, and now there is a better search and stash system and functionality in the inventory and stash. So I don't see why they can't adopt the same mechanics in Diablo 2. Now, I know this has been said a million times over. I'm sure the top players, the top content creators in Diablo 2 have raised this issue a million times. I don't understand why there's no loot filter and a better search and itemization in the stash where we could search and filter items much more effectively. After all, even the personal inventory space of the characters are very limiting in this game, just because of the charms and items that you carry with you while you're grinding and farming and playing in Diablo 2. It's probably one of the most limiting character inventory space availabilities in any game I've played, at least. You're basically playing with a narrow window of 7 or 8 to 10, even let's just say 20 items, but I don't think it's that high. But it's a very narrow window, 50 to 60%, and with some players it's 80%, 90% of their inventory availability on their character is already utilized, right? So that even represents the need for proper searching, filter with stash inventory. And then the motherhood is a loot filter. This game should have a loot filter. Heck, devs, you can farm it out. The community, we already have communities that have built off this game and created, Project Diablo and added so many quality of life enhancements. If that can be done outside of a AAA studio, I'm sure within a AAA studio it can be handled. So I know this has already been said a million times over, but I kind of want to just keep this discussion at the level up at the surface, and hopefully if enough voices talk about it, it gets done. This game is screaming for a loot filter. It's the basics when it comes to quality of life of a game. Please put a loot filter, put a filter and search functionality in the stash. Quality of life. It's all players ask for. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you agree with me. And if you don't, let me know your thoughts. And what do you think? Is there ever going to be a possibility of Diablo 2 getting this type of quality of life put into the game, considering how old this game is and the level of support that it receives currently from the dev team in 2023? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear them. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching, everybody. If you can find it in your heart to like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. We're growing this little community, and we'd love to have you. The community's coinily named it the Caps Waypoint, so we'd love to have you come over to the Caps Waypoint. We're all waiting for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one, and hopefully we'll see you next time.